The lost civilization Atlantis.
Atlantis, a mysterious and legendary civilization, has fascinated humanity for centuries. Its existence, though considered a myth by many, continues to spark controversy and passionate discussions. According to some ancient sources, Atlantis was a highly advanced civilization that disappeared due to a natural disaster. What was this lost civilization really about? Who were its inhabitants, and most importantly, what might they have left behind that has vanished forever?
The origins of the Atlantis myth.
The first mention of Atlantis comes from Plato, the Greek philosopher, who described this civilization in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias as a powerful island nation that existed about 9,000 years before his time. According to Plato, Atlantis was an extensive landmass with an exceptionally developed culture, technology, and even advanced spirituality. According to Plato, the Atlanteans were a mighty people, possessing immense knowledge and a civilization far ahead of its time. Their architecture, technology, and spiritual philosophy contained elements that would later serve as the foundation for future civilizations. However, their greatness and excessive pride supposedly led to their downfall.
The fall of Atlantis.
Plato described the fall of Atlantis as divine punishment for arrogance and moral corruption. A great cataclysm, which affected not only Atlantis itself but also nearby islands, caused the civilization to disappear from the Earth's surface. On one hand, the fall of Atlantis seems to be a legend written as a warning for humanity, yet on the other hand, numerous clues suggest that there may be a real historical basis behind this story.
Evidence for the existence of Atlantis.
Although Atlantis has never been definitively found, researchers and archaeologists point to various locations that could be its remnants. One of the more popular hypotheses suggests that Atlantis was located on the island of Santorini, a volcanic island in Greece. The eruption of the Thera volcano, which occurred around 1600 BCE, wiped out the entire Minoan civilization. This catastrophic event could have inspired the myth of Atlantis' destruction. Another theory suggests that Atlantis might have been located in the Caribbean region, specifically near Bimini Island, where underwater structures have been discovered but not yet fully studied. Some researchers propose that these structures could be the remnants of an ancient civilization that disappeared due to a major disaster.
The advanced technology of the Atlanteans.
The question of Atlantis' location is intriguing, but even more fascinating is the question of its technology. Plato's stories indicate that the Atlanteans had advanced knowledge of architecture, engineering, and technology that surpassed all contemporary achievements. They built enormous temples that were not only works of art but also technologically sophisticated structures. Many modern researchers wonder whether Atlantis had access to technology far ahead of its time. There are mentions of machines used for transportation, both land and sea, as well as complex mechanisms for harnessing energy. Some theories even suggest that the Atlanteans possessed knowledge of energy sources far more advanced than what we know today. It is also intriguing to consider how they constructed monumental pyramids and other structures that would have been impossible to build without advanced technology.
Advanced technologies and extraterrestrial connections.
One particularly controversial question is whether the Atlanteans had contact with extraterrestrial civilizations. Many accounts of Atlantis include references to beings that may have come from the sky, bringing knowledge and technology that significantly influenced the development of this civilization. Some theories suggest that Atlantis was actually a place where humanity received assistance from advanced extraterrestrial civilizations, including the Anunnaki, mentioned in Sumerian texts. According to some accounts, the Atlanteans may have used alien technology to construct massive structures such as pyramids. These structures, beyond serving religious functions, may have also been energy generating or communication devices used for interactions with cosmic civilizations. Archaeological discoveries worldwide, such as hidden chambers in Egyptian pyramids or underwater structures near Bimini, seem to support the idea that ancient builders used technology we do not yet fully understand.
The cataclysm that destroyed Atlantis.
According to Plato's accounts, Atlantis disappeared due to a great disaster, possibly caused by a massive earthquake or a meteorite impact. This cataclysm was so violent that the entire island sank into the ocean. It is said that Atlantis was an extremely powerful and vast civilization, and its fall would have triggered tsunamis and destruction not only on the island itself but also in other civilizations connected to it. So far, no definitive proof of Atlantis' existence has been found. However, many believe that traces of this civilization can be seen in the influence it may have had on other ancient cultures, such as the Egyptians, Mayans, or Sumerians. Modern geology suggests that cataclysms such as volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and earthquakes occurred in the past in the Mediterranean region, potentially confirming the description of Atlantis' destruction. Some theories point to the island of Santorini, or a volcanic disaster in the second half of the second millennium BCE may have wiped out the last remnants of this civilization.
The legacy of Atlantis and its influence on future civilizations.
Regardless of whether Atlantis was a real civilization or just a myth, its legends have profoundly influenced future generations. The stories of its advanced technology, spirituality, and mysterious machines have inspired many civilizations that arose after its destruction. Particularly, the Egyptians, Mayans, and Sumerians, who left behind enigmatic ruins and artifacts, could be seen as inheritors of Atlantean knowledge. Some researchers argue that the ancient builders of Egypt's pyramids may have had access to advanced technology passed down by the Atlanteans. Their constructions are among the last remaining traces of this advanced civilization. Additionally, the mythologies of these cultures contain numerous references to gods from the sky, who supposedly imparted knowledge of mechanics, astronomy, medicine, and mathematics to humanity.
Underwater mysteries Bimini and other locations.
Recent discoveries provide further clues suggesting that Atlantis may have existed in a specific geographical region. One of the most controversial locations is Bimini Island in the Bahamas, where underwater structures resembling walls, roads, and other architectural elements have been discovered. Research suggests that these structures may date back several thousand years and could serve as evidence of an advanced civilization that existed before the island was submerged. Other locations, such as the eastern coast of South America, also attract interest from researchers who seek to identify possible remnants of Atlantis. However, no conclusive proof has yet been found to confirm that Atlantis was a real historical place. It remains a subject of speculation and research.
Conclusion.
Although Atlantis remains a mystery, its influence on human culture and history is undeniable. Even if we never uncover all of its secrets, the story of Atlantis has inspired millions worldwide to explore ancient myths, archaeology, and the history of civilizations. Whether Atlantis was an actual civilization or merely a myth, its legends will live on in our collective consciousness, and the question of its existence will continue to fascinate generations to come. Dear viewer, if you enjoyed this material, let us know in the comments, what do you think about Atlantis?
The encourage discussion. See you in the next episode.